guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Johanna, and for those of you who are new here, welcome, and for those of you who are returning, welcome back. Here on my channel I do planner and planner related videos, DIY tutorials, budget videos, and the occasional new release video of items that I've listed to my Etsy shop. And if that is of interest to you, please consider subscribing to my channel, and if you hit that little notification bell, you'll always be notified of when I load a new video. Commenting, liking, and sharing does help my channel grow and would be truly appreciated. Alrighty, so this is day 3 of the 12 days of Christmas. This is also Vlogmas. I'm not even sure, but it is part of my Vlogmas 2019 vlogs. And so what we're going to be making today is some really quick, easy, and affordable sachets that I think would be a great coworker gift, stocking stuffer, although I will talk about that, or just a craft fair gift, or just a cute little gift, or even something that you can use for yourself. I believe these are organza bags. I think that's what they're called. I picked these up, of course, from Amazon. Don't know if you can see it there. I don't know if that makes it easier, but this measures 2.75 by 3.1. 2.5. I think when I typed in a search on Amazon, I was just looking for small organza bags, and I will link that in the description box below. And then the other thing you're going to need is some of these bursts. Now, it doesn't have to be from Bounce. Downy has these. Dreft has these. It's the In-Wash Scent Booster. Now, I am allergic to this when it is put in the wash, and I found that out the hard way because I had it all over. I mean, basically anywhere that clothes touched, this basically burned my skin. So I can't use this in the laundry. In fact, the only detergent I can use is the one you use for babies because my skin has become that sensitive. But I can handle this if it's just something like this, because this doesn't stay in contact with my skin at all. And it actually, the initial or the actual sachet is super easy. Now, I have seen this on YouTube before, so this is not my idea. And what I would do, well, I would try to open it. And then I would pour some to give a good cover on the bottom of the cap. And that's all you're going to need. And then you open this up and you pour these in. And what I was using this for when I was still doing crochet and I still had my crochet shop is I would make little granny square covers. I would insert this in that, so there'd be a granny square on either side, so the granny square up on 3 sides, and then just leave a top corner open. And then I would include this with some of the baby sets that I used to do. With all the various projects that I have going on, maintaining the crochet shop just wasn't doable. And then what you can do with just this right here is you can stick this into a drawer, and if you're like me and you're allergic to this, then it's a way to keep your clothes smelling fresh. It does actually last quite a long time, because I've had one of these where I put it in with my yarn, and then, you know, months later I go into my yarn and it still smells like this. Now, this in and of itself I think makes a really cute gift. If you are making this as a stocking stuffer, do not put it in the stocking if there's going to be food in there. Now, it's not even so much that this is not food safe. It isn't. I wouldn't imagine they would mark it as food safe. It goes in your laundry, but more so, even if everything else in your stocking was covered, everything's going to taste like this because the smell will penetrate all of your food. And yeah, I learned that the hard way. But that in and of itself, I think if you do like 3 of these sachets, I think would make a really useful gift. And this could be, you know, whether you're a baby or an adult, you know, you're away to college or whatever. I think this would make something just super cute. So let me make a couple of more, and then let me show you how we'll zhuzh these up a little. I do recommend tying them, however. I didn't talk about that, but I was just doing it while I was talking, just because you don't want this to open up and have this spill all over. Eventually, the scent will go away. And I say eventually because if it's laying flat in whatever drawer or dresser that you have, then if you shake it up and you put it back in, it kind of reactivates it. But eventually, after you have done that for a while, that will go away. I don't want to seal these up too much because then you could just take that apart and then refill them. Now, if you happen to throw this in the wash, these will disintegrate because that's what they're made for. They're made to be in wash boosters. So if for any reason you're like, why is my bag empty? Well, it boosted your laundry and now it's all gone. Yeah. I don't know if people use these. We don't because of me, but I have these specifically for crafting. And again, whatever scent you buy, whatever brand you buy, it doesn't matter. It just matters that there are these little beads right here. I think this also would work if you hang this in your car as a car freshener. I don't have a car, so we've got the 3 right there. I've got this, which is the 3x9 by 8.2. So we'll put one of those aside. But what I thought would make this kind of cute is if we added some felt flowers. Now I think that's something that you can purchase already, but I don't have any, so I do have a bunch of felt. Now I do have some pieces of felt here. Now because the ones that I had made originally I put inside of a granny square, I didn't do any further embellishment. But for this one, because I'm not doing that, because I've tried to crochet on camera before and it's really difficult, so I'm not going to do that. But what we'll do is we'll make some little flowers. So I just cut a strip, not going to measure it, you guys know I'm not really big on that, and then I'm going to cut 3 flowers that are all approximately the same. Or 3 circles, sorry. Okay. And I'm making them purposely small because the bags are small. And then any that have any stragglers, you can just either pull or cut off. Alright, so we've got our little things like there, and you're like, I don't know if I'd give that as a gift. Guys, we'll work through it. So I'm going to use fabric tap. Now, I've never actually used this before, but it's made for fabric. It says that what does it say? It grabs fast and dries clear. And so we're just going to sandwich those pieces together and do that there. And do that here. And again, it doesn't matter that they're not all the same. This is a handmade gift. And while that's drying, then we'll cut some leaves. Now for that purple section there, I had cut one that made really tiny things, but it looked bad. So I just cut a strip that was not as wide as this original one, but wider than what I had originally cut for the smaller one. Yeah, I'm sure that makes perfect sense. And for this one, I'm going to cut some leaf shapes, and the easiest for that is to work it from point to point and then just kind of curve it that way, and then kind of curve it the other way. And really I just want to make sure that all of these separate. Yeah, so I've got 3 leaves right there, so we'll do that one more time because I want 2 leaves or leaves per flower. And originally I was going to use pink on pink, but I think the purple and the orange look really cute together. And the scent boosters come in different colors, different scents. So depending on what sachet bag you use, because these also come in colors, then you may want to take that into account if you are adding embellishments. Now if you can find felt or paper flowers easier than making this, then by all means do that. I'm all for purchasing things. It's just a lot of the times I get these ideas in my head and I'm not near or have access to a store. Okay, so I think these are still damp, but I can show you one. Now I'm not going to use these scissors. These aren't the best scissors I have, but they're definitely better than these right here, because these are already all sticked up because I cut washi with this. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut some slits into this just to make it a little bit more interesting, and it's haphazard. I want a little bit of a different texture. And just make sure I pull that apart, and there, and one more there. And I think that makes something that looks very, I think it's like primitive. I think that's what they call it. Although this, I think, is cute as well. And then it was a tag on one of the things that Kelly had sent to me recently, and I'm going to repurpose these little gemstones. And then I have one more right here. So I'm going to use my glue, and I'm going to attach this. Now this is all optional. In fact, other than this, all of this other stuff is optional. But if you are making this as a gift, or if you are selling this in a craft fair, then I think it makes sense to make it as cute as possible. And it really drives home the fact that this is a handmade item. And I've never used this, so I don't know of the longevity of this. Because I've seen this mostly with people who do like journals and junk journals, so that they use it with paper. I actually don't know how well it attaches to fabric. And so for this one, I mean, you certainly can use hot glue. I mentioned in the video before this, where I made the paper flowers, hot glue can eventually, the items can separate from it, especially if it goes from hot to cold, cold to hot. So I try not to use hot glue. I'll use E6000 because I know that'll work, or I'm testing this out because I've heard good things about this on paper. Not sure how it works on non-paper. And then for this, I wouldn't glue it here where the tie is. I would actually glue it there. Again, this isn't something I recommend that you put in the wash. It does say washable, so I'm assuming that it won't come off, but again, I've never used this, so I don't know 100%. And so you can just embellish. Oh, no. I wanted to put leaves. So let's try this again. And everything is so small, and this strings up like crazy. So I hope you can see this. The lighting's not that great either because of all the shadows. And my hands are big. Maybe I should have just crocheted. Must be done already. See, and that looks infinitely sweeter with the leaves than it did without it. So let me finish these two and then I'll bring you back. All right, guys, so these are my little sachets. I think they look really sweet. Now that flower part is absolutely optional, because what you could have done if you are going to do this is leave these like this, because again, if you're throwing this in a drawer, this might get caught on something, and then add the little flower to whatever packaging you're doing. Now these are still kind of wet, so they might come apart, but I thought if I package them like this, or if you package them like this, I'm not doing craft fairs and I already have my stocking stuffers for this year, but if you package them like that, and you could put a piece of cardstock underneath it just to give it a base, and I think that would make, and the glare is probably crazy, but that would make a really sweet little stocking stuffer, coworker gift, craft fair item. It's relatively inexpensive, especially if you can source these items and use coupons or get the things at the Dollar Tree if you have them, or your version of the Dollar Tree, because I know international people have versions of the Dollar Tree there. But yeah, I just wanted to show you guys this cute little craft. All right, guys, that's it for me for now. And as always, aloha.